Covered in blood, and there's blood. You can see the blood trail going, so he's getting up. Drop.
He just ran off.
Lose him?
Yeah.
Well, this week we're still out in Soggy, Illinois with our good friend Barton Crawford. Well, if you watched the show last week, a combination of standing corn and miserable weather all but closed the hunting down completely. Toward the end of the week, we were finally able to connect with a doe.
Blood in Pike County. I don't care if it's a doe, Josh. Backstrap, baby, tonight. Well, it was getting dark, we were losing camera light, and we were about ready to pack it in and call it quits on the Midwest, at least for this season. And out from behind the bushes steps one of the biggest bucks I've ever seen on the hoof. Well, this deer was in range nearly the entire time, and it was one of the most frustrating things to deal with because with the way our stands are situated, there's a lot of limbs in this tree, and I would have had to basically shoot right past Josh to get an arrow in this deer, and we just couldn't get the angle on him, and by that time he was past me. I did everything I could to try to get an arrow in this deer. I mean, I tried to lean around the tree, almost fell out of my tree stand. I actually climbed into Josh's stand with him. I had one foot in Josh's stand and I was trying to lean around him to get a shot. I've never been so let down in my life. 35 yards broadside. He's out there on the other side of the tree though where I couldn't shoot him. He's a gorgeous buck. He was fixing to come right there, man. He's gonna give me a 35-yard shot if the wind had been blowing that way. He's beautiful.
We got back and talked to Bart that night, and I said, you know, Barton, I'm not going to be able to sleep for the rest of my life if we don't hunt this deer at least one more time. Well, we decided to stay in town one more night and hunt that next day, and Barton wanted to introduce us to the guys at Oak Ridge Outfitters. Well, when we got there, sure enough, they had one hanging in the tree out back, and it is a really nice guide service, and they had some monster bucks on the wall. Well, after seeing this wall full of trophies, you know, I can tell you whether the conditions were bad or not when we went there. You know there's some good deer in Pike County, and that's why people always continue to go back to that area. It is double overtime at this point. It's the last morning, and we climb in the tree stand, and I think we're both so wore out and just so tired that we don't even do any kind of interview. We don't even talk about what we're doing. We're sitting there just ready to like pack up and go home basically because we were ready to head out. We hadn't seen much that morning, and I see antlers coming through the cornfield. Well, it turns out those antlers had a deer attached to them. Well, a buck starts walking out of the cornfield, and the closer he gets, the better he looks. And we were thinking, hey, you know, just like it was scripted, it's going to happen in dramatic fashion on the very last day.
So take pride in what you're preaching. Well, there's trouble in the teaching. Seems that some forgot the reason why we fail.
Well, it looks like this deer's going to walk right into us.
It's so easy chewing, and it's screwing up sound. Oh, if I had my way, we'd hear wailing every day. They should that Hank had done it this way.
He beds down at, I think, about 65, 70 yards, and we're just like, come on, dude. You know, we've been waiting all this time, and it's just killing us. The most frustrating thing about the whole situation is we could wait there all day, and this deer could get up and decide to go right back in that cornfield.
Not a victim of the game. This I say.
So I had a ton of stuff going through my mind. I was thinking about calling to him. I was thinking about climbing down and putting a stalk on him since he was facing the other direction.
That our younger ones won't understand why it all sounds the same. All these bad habits brewing, ain't so easy chewing when it's screwed up sound. So if I had my way, we'd hear Haggard every day. His silver wings would take me away.
He stayed that way for, it had to be an hour. Felt like an hour, it was probably 5 minutes. And over to my right, I see a tail flicker. So this doe comes walking down the trail, and about the time she gets upwind, he sticks his nose in there and definitely smells something he was interested in because it got his attention immediately, and he was on his feet. Well, he goes to chasing this doe, and she don't want to have anything to do with him. And she hauls rearing across this bean field, I mean, as fast as she can go. And the good news is, she outran him, and we didn't see him leave the woods. So we know he's got to be right in front of us somewhere. Since he had run this doe off, she didn't want anything to do with him. I dug around in my pocket and found a bleat call and just bleated a couple times. And it was like a magnet. This deer was at the base of the tree in no time.
He smoked. Heart shot. Heart shot. We're gonna put him in the truck. He smoked, Josh. He smoked, man. I just feel my Illinois tag, baby. On a big old 11-pointer. That's what I'm talking about, son. He smoked. You get good footage of him? Huh? Did I mean you could tell put it in the right place?
I couldn't see the shot off.
He did that high leg kick.
I never heard him go farther than that pine tree.
Huh?
I never heard him go farther than that pine tree like this.
He's down right in there.
I felt great about the shot. Once I got down and saw the arrow, I felt even better about it. We even saw the deer get wobbly as he went into the woods and heard him go down.
You couldn't tell from the footage. It was our camera arm broke, and Josh has been doing a good job hand holding it. But the footage is hard to tell from where he is exactly where I hit him. I don't know. I'm just nervous talking right now. I just want to go find the daggone thing. I really just want to put my hands on it. Let's go check the arrow out.
So I can't wait anymore, man. I get down out of the tree and I go and I look at the arrow. I mean, just pretty red blood all up and down it. There's blood all over the ground. Smoke City.
Does it look good? Looks good to me. Over in there, baby. Looks good. Just have to see. He's bleeding good. I mean, I just don't know. If I saw the point of impact on the video, we'd run off and go get him, you know. But
You know, they were calling for rain that day pretty heavy after lunch. And it was already well after lunchtime, and we were starting to hear some rumbling of thunder in the background. So, you know, we thought we better go find this deer now. With the storm blowing in, we head into the woods. We're following like this huge blood trail. I mean, it looks like somebody dumped a 5-gallon bucket down through the woods. And I hear Josh say, "Oh shoot." We'll just say that's what he said on TV.
He just ran off. Yeah. I know for a fact it was him.
I'm telling you, when that happened, dude, after the week we'd had, and I thought I made a perfect shot on this deer, that crushed me, man.
let's get out of here. Let's go take tree stand down. Just give him some more time.
Let's get to the road and make sure that blood trail doesn't cross the road.
Okay.
If he doesn't cross the road, we know he's in here. He ran straight towards the road.
All right, let's go do it.
Well, this block of woods that the deer ran into was pretty small, and it was separated by this little road. And we knew if we had gone around and crossed this road and there was no blood coming across the road, we knew the deer was still in that small block of woods. We get to the road and there's a blood trail going across it.
Just give him some time. Give him plenty of time to die.
Go back and pack up.
Pack up our stuff. I'll throw up a few times from the anxiety attack I'm having right now.
Then you got the rain to contend with. You start thinking, hey, we got to find this deer right now or there's no chance because there'll be no blood trail. And when you're talking about hundreds of acres of standing corn, a blood trail is the only thing that is going to help you find a deer. Well, I'm sick to my stomach. Thought I shot him good, right in his rib cage. Shot him low, I guess, and got one long. It's several hours later. We actually ended up jumping him up, so hate to see that. But I know I got one long. I mean, it went in his rib cage somewhere. It just, I think the angle was too extreme. Went down, came out low. Blood everywhere, but we bumped him because the rainstorm was coming and we looked for him too early. We didn't let him lay long enough, which is the biggest mistake you can make when you're blood trailing. We're gonna go to the spot we found last blood and still walk through.
You gotta get on with your life, or just to watch it, just to pass on by. It's a long way.
We're just walking through the woods thinking any minute there's gonna be a dead deer in front of me. I mean, we've come 400 yards or whatever it has been so far, and this deer's gotta be dead. You know, we gave him a couple hours. He's bleeding like crazy. He's gonna be dead right up here.
But you can't go back again. Love this, you're caught up in.
Well, all of a sudden, Shannon's like, get down, get down, get down. And he spots a deer, and I'm up ahead of everybody else looking at the blood. And so I get down and I crawl back up the hill and I look, and all I see is that deer get up.
He's getting up. Draw. No.
I can't believe that joker's bleeding that much and still alive.
So what are you gonna do? We had to pull out. We had to wait till the next day to find the deer, if we were gonna find him at all.
Maybe he was drowned.
So that night was one of the worst nights of my life. I mean, I don't think I slept at all.
Now I'm sitting in my own tears with the fact you're no longer here.
We get up the next day, it's still spitting rain, it's nasty weather, it had rained all night, poured down, there's no chance of a blood trail. We went over to the guide service beside us to try to get permission to go look for our deer. Once we got there, we met the Capoletti brothers, who were some clients that had also been successful that week. and they volunteered to come help us out, you know, while we were trying to find my buck.
That's where we saw last blood. And we're gonna look for him.
I mean, we didn't find a drop of blood that day. I mean, the rain, it just poured down rain all night, so it washed any sign away. Just trying to guess at where this deer would have run. We're zigzagging back and forth through the brush, and we basically gave up. And it takes a pretty good long time for us to give up. I mean, we had looked everywhere we could possibly think for this deer. And I'm strolling back, and there's a small bean field to the left-hand side of the block of woods, and I hear Josh say something, and I thought he was messing with me.
Look at that bean field right there. Why don't you look at that bean field right there?
Man, I couldn't believe it. I was so ticked off about this deer getting away that I had walked by him twice and didn't even realize that he's laying right there in the bean field.
Oh man, the coyotes got it. I was hoping they wouldn't get it. But I hate to wait, you know, but it was sort of an act of God that kept us from finding him. And you know, the biggest flood they've had in a while came through, and I'm just happy we found him. It still makes me sick that we lost a lot of that meat, but just good to find him. We hate to leave one out here like that, man. Pike County, baby. Been hunting up here with Barton Crawford, and this was a last 15-minute buck. I mean, we were gonna leave and go home, and he runs out under the tree stand. Sweet. See, that's where I was aiming, folks. I mean, hit him right behind the shoulder. I needed to move it up to right here, actually. I needed to shoot him about 4 to 6 inches higher to get that double lung, and I ended up only getting one lung, maybe an artery or something, but man, we got a buck anyway. He's
That's
fine,
a beautiful buck.
Beautiful buck.
Oh yeah, he is.
These boys right here, they killed some big old.
Within a half hour of each
Yeah.
other. I shot one 145, Johnson shot one 159. You're probably sleepless night on that, huh?
Oh man,
I'm glad you hung in there till you found the
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys coming out.
Oh, our pleasure. Our pleasure.
That's
Red Arrow, Pike County buck.
That's right. I've never been so happy to find a buck in all my life after last night. I mean, it was tough to wait on him, you know, but big old flood came through, flooded everything, washed away all the blood, so we had a hard time finding him. But you know, hit him right behind the shoulder there, but just hit him a little low. And he's a fine buck, though, man. Yeah, he's a good buck.
Also, don't forget to support Hunters for the Hungry. We've still got this wristband program going, and last year our fans fed over 5,000 hungry or needy people. We're finally able to connect with a doe on a personal level. She understood where we were coming from, and we shot her in the heart. Ran into dead. There we go. Dead. We were doing our excited whisper voice.
We'll get mad this evening and just go ahead and put one in something's lungs.
So it turns out anger doesn't kill deer.
Me and Josh had to push him because of the rain. And Josh just fell down.